Give it like another 15 seconds or something like that.
Okay,
okay,
so
we're live.
Jake, about Aaron Fisher. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was gonna say that you were talking about the Transformers box office, but Transformers 1986 also didn't do well at box office, and then it became over time the greatest Transformers film for a lot of fans. So it's gonna be probably the same with this one. Okay,
So it's following the trend. All right.
It's following a trend. Yeah, the best Transformers movies usually don't make the money, but they always make a place in people's hearts. So. Although this one didn't traumatize kids, so that's a you know. But it is what it is. Oh, the Mortal Kombat Chaos Reigns DLC came out.
I don't even want to, man. Like, I had to catch up on so many media projects with like all the shows and the movies in the past week. On top of my overtime and my job, man. Come on,
Cryptid, I have 4 books coming out tomorrow. And I'm gonna have to break that up. At least like 4 or 5 books next week.
Gotcha. I didn't even get a chance to see what's going to be coming out this week, so.
Because obviously a new issue of Avengers Academy, we know this, obviously, duh. But like the Monster High new Scaremester issue comes out tomorrow. Werewolf by Night #2 comes out. Frankenstein #2 comes out. Lots of books are coming out. The Agatha book, that's on Marvel Unlimited, where it's like a Team AU. So that's coming out tomorrow, but I'm not talking about it because I don't really want to talk about it. So.
Is that going to pick up anything from what happened with that Darkhold becoming a child?
No, it's like its own thing.
Okay, because I feel like that's a dangling plot thread that the editors were like, okay, the show is coming out, so let's make her relevant.
This book actually came out a while before this show came out, so we got it's its own thing. It's basically a high school AU where all of the magic users go to school, and Agatha's like the preppy rich girl or whatever who hates the new kid Wanda. Does that make sense?
Okay, it's her high school years. Okay, I get it.
Not really, but if you go read it, you would understand what I'm talking about. It's a high school AU with magic.
It's just Mean Girls with magical Marvel characters, bro.
Just no Billy, but Nico's here though.
Gotcha.
It's basically the story of me when I was in school.
Gotcha. Well, alright, guys.
Go ahead,
Come on, go ahead and get started. All right. Well, welcome to Comic Phanatic Live. You're here for our reviews of the week. You're here with me, Cryptid Seeker 415. No other intro this week. Go ahead.
Hi, it's me, Jake Tylenol. I'm currently on the boat headed off of Montanui, headed to my new destination. Happy to see you guys.
You got Wi-Fi on that?
I'm Deadpool.
Boom.
Okay, awesome. Whatever.
Okay, I didn't know Deadpool was a brick, but all right. I can imagine there's a universe out there,
I was literally in Deadpool and Wolverine. We talked about
you didn't see Austin? You didn't see
you didn't see the stunt that he did when Deadpool got thrown through a wall. That was
remember that stunt?
That was
so
number one Deadpool fan.
You're telling me we get a Deadpool wall instead of a Deadpool T-Rex? Come on. But all right, go ahead. Who's next? Witch.
And it is me, Witch. The Witch of Yoden pronounced.
Oh no.
Did we lose Witch? Oh.
Witch of Jotunheim.
Witch of Jotunheim.
You know, Jake, this means if we find another streaming platform to go to, you're going to be the one next. Yeah.
This girl's going to be like, you're next.
I think Witch needs a different browser than Safari.
I think it's just a different
audience, we're just using a different streaming network right now, so bear with us on the hiccups. So
yes, but which will return with an intro. But until then, let me tell you something. We are the
Jake Discourse, he was saying anything.
Anyway, we are the Fanatics, and we -1, and we do the news and reviews of the week. And today on Tuesdays, we do comic reviews with our bestie, which is returned to introduce himself.
Okay, let me introduce myself and then do the socials.
Right.
So I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, as you can obviously see for right now until I get booted off again because StreamYard hates me. And wish me luck on my trip because I have a fear of planes. Yay!
And we also have socials. We already introduced ourselves, so now we're doing socials.
Yes. Hi, I'm here to do socials before I get booted off again because StreamYard hates me. So, woo! Anyways, so you can subscribe to us on YouTube. Please subscribe so we can start streaming on YouTube. Please subscribe so we can get there. 2, you can follow us on Twitter at Comic Fanatic 69. We do post on there sometimes. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at witch_of_Jotunheim. I will be posting update videos from my trip. I'll try my best to, actually. So follow me on Instagram if you want the cool pictures. And if you want to follow me on Tumblr, you can follow me at Northstar Aria. And yeah, if you want my Newgrounds, it's the same as my my Instagram. So have fun. If you want to find Austin, he's a brick wall with bright blue eyes and pink and hot pink blush. If you want to find Cryptid, he's chilling out with America. And if you want to find Jake, tell them where you are right now.
They will find out later today.
Exactly. So, yay!
Also, he already snitched on himself. He was leaving the island.
Yes, I was leaving an island, but to where? Who knows? But if you want to see our timeless, never-changing opinions on movies, we have a playlist for that. Please, God, please watch our Aquaman review. It is
please, we beg you, watch Aquaman.
Please, we're begging you. But if you don't feel interested in that, you can also watch our other stuff. We had an anime night, which I think is up on that playlist as well. Where we
if you want to know about old gay anime, that's where you go.
We also reviewed some famous Disney movies, some of the live-action ones that people hate. Did we hate it? Find out. And
also, if you like Twisted Wonderland, go watch the review that I did of the Glorious Masquerade event last year with one of my best friends.
You're damn right. But, that's all on the channel on our playlist for movie reviews, so feel free to watch that if you fancy. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. And
please subscribe. Please subscribe.
Please. God, please. And also, never forget to watch our uploads. Every Mondays and Tuesdays we're live. So
sometimes other days, but mostly those 2 days.
Mostly. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into our fantastic topics.
Gotcha. Let me start us off. Hold a sec.
Can you put me back in the lobby and then bring me back for my topic, if possible?
Yeah, I could try it out. We'll see what happens.
If not, then I'll just chill out here until I get booted.
Gotcha. But anyway, audience, we're starting off with a tie-in to a Venom War called Deadpool. You guys are okay. For anybody who's like, okay, there's an event going on right now in Marvel, another Venom War event. Don't feel left out because this Deadpool is basically you. Like, okay, what the hell is even going on at this point? I don't even know what's going on.
I just had a Venom event.
I know, right?
Didn't King of Black just happen and that Carnage event?
Yeah, wow. I know.
King of Black was like 5 years ago.
It was not 5 years ago. It was like 3.
There was a war, an Edge of Venomverse or something like that happened a couple months ago. We can keep it all straight.
Yeah, but it wasn't really an event. It was just a one book.
Gotcha.
That was 2020. That was 4 years ago.
Gotcha. But anyway, I kind of like how this book, gives you that point of view. And frankly, I don't really read introductions much, the intro page. But for this specific one, I had to read it. I'll read it for you guys to kind of keep you up to speed as to what happened, because it does do a good illustration, right, of what the point of this event is. Okay, Eddie Brock and his son, Dylan, are at war over control of the Venom symbiote. And blah, blah, blah. Is that really what you want to be doing with your time, reading backstories instead of watching Deadpool and Friends beat the snot out of some goo-covered zombies. Oh, okay, yeah, that's the extra kick to this event. Apparently, there are zombie symbiotes.
Fun.
Yep.
Jake, what's your thought on that?
You guys already know how I feel about symbiotes. So.
Gotcha.
No, that's never been a thing before.
Okay. Okay, fine. There are these mindless symbiotes that can take over either living or dead bodies and make them pretty much zombies. Henceforth, they're called
No.
zombiots.
You know, we already have a Marvel Zombies book out right now.
I know. Are they venomized zombies?
No, but you can blame Groot for the reason why they're zombies.
I recall. Okay, and then he goes on to explain, okay, and then there is this girl named Andy who got a black and white symbiote from Venom a long time ago and is now calling herself Mania, but now she's a red and white symbiote with an anti-venom. And now she calls herself Silence. And guess what? I'm also babysitting my dog Princess. So, okay, good. Princess is a big part of this book, which...
Isn't Princess his dog? His hyena symbiote dog?
Yes. So I guess
There's
it's
no
appropriate.
babysitting involved. It's his dog.
I guess it's appropriate if there's a Venom War event and Deadpool's having a tie-in that Princess will have to be involved. Which, man, I kind of find that so ironic because Alyssa Wong's been creating a lot of characters over the past couple years, many of which are one ethnicity. Yet it seems like Princess is the one that seems to be mainstream and going into other books since she was done. Huh. You guys find that ironic? But yeah. But anyway, this book is written by Cullen Bunn. I'm happy to see Cullen Bunn back writing Deadpool because for me, Cullen Bunn is in my Mount Rushmore of Deadpool writers. So good for him. Good for him. Huh?
Good.
Iconic. I mean, he's the guy who wrote the Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. How many Deadpool story arcs would you say is iconic? I mean, does anybody here know of his Funeral for a Freak story arc? Hell the fuck no, So
never heard of it.
Yeah, exactly, So, but a lot of people see Deadpool killing the Marvel Universe as Deadpool's most iconic story arc,
Yeah.
So.
And that was in an alternate universe, audience.
Yep. It got so big, that our mainstream Deadpool had to collide with that version of Deadpool,
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the issue kind of opens up as you expect. Deadpool's in the middle of Times Square. He's fighting all these zombiettes, and he has that, what's her name? Silence. No, who really cares about Silence?
Where's Red Goblin? Where's Normie?
I'm sure he's in another tie-in. I mean, I'm not going to bother to read any other tie-in besides this, So.
I mean, I wasn't invested at all. But,
yep. All right. You do get a fun collision where a symbiote does fuse with an elephant, and now you have a battle between a zombie elephant up against Princess. I'm like,
fun.
Yeah. But anyway, unfortunately, Deadpool gets his arm chopped off, and when you know it, now that counts as a corpse, as one of the zombiotes infuses with that hand and becomes a monster. So.
I bet there's a period of time where Wade is just like, can you not? Can you not?
I'm just done with these zombies. God dang it! Like, how many versions of the zombie virus have I had to deal with at this point? So.
I bet a lot. Like,
Sam
has there been a Marvel Zombies universe where he is personally a zombie?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he had to team up with a zombie head version of himself. Yeah.
But have we seen a zombie Deadpool in one of the Marvel Zombies books? I can't recall it.
Yes, we've seen a zombie Deadpool. Zombie head. Mm-hmm.
Just the zombie head.
Well, he had a full body until that got destroyed, and he just kind of stayed as a head, So.
I mean, you do what you gotta do, I guess.
Gotcha. He also made out with Lady Deadpool. Yeah, have that thought in your mind, So.
Yeah, no, thank you. I have other things I have in my mind, like the person with the profile picture.
Gotcha. But anyway, so of course they have to regroup, and they end up finding shelter in the tunnels. And I kind of like this little deep dig because they remember Columbine remembers Monster Metropolis. Yeah, that was the kingdom that Deadpool's wife Shikla had underneath New York City, which was, as you would expect, it's a kingdom full of monsters, this and that.
Wade
And
just like smirked heavily, and he's like, "Oh fuck yeah."
yeah, but Shikla went on to say that, yeah, that's kind of how it works. Even though you're married to me, you're still beneath me. I guess the gender roles are separate since she's the queen. She has full authority or something like that.
I mean, it was
So,
kind of like Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, if you
yeah,
think
you could
about it,
say that.
because she was the queen, but he's the
Mm.
prince consort, not king.
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I
But
just solved the problem.
nice. But anyway, Jake, you're gonna love this because when Deadpool got divorced from Shikla, right? She went up to her people and she realized, you know what? We don't need a monarchy anymore. From now on, Monster Metropolis will henceforth be a democracy.
Democracy. Oh.
Yeah. Who do you want to elect as president, Jake? Or Fanatics? Do you want to elect the Loch Ness Monster or do you want to elect Sasquatch? A Sasquatch.
Walter Lankowski is currently not Sasquatch,
No.
so
What? The
you're gonna have
OG
to talk to Doc
Sasquatch.
Samson about that.
The OG Sasquatch witch.
That's what do you think I'm talking about?
Okay, Loch Ness Monster or Perry, or I don't know, what other fictional monsters are out there? Bigfoot? There you go.
Isn't that just a Sasquatch?
A Sasquatch from the West. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, Lord and behold, things didn't actually turn out well for Monster Metropolis, Yeah, I mean, even Frankenstein, who's down there, is like looking at Deadpool, like, you left us, you abandoned us, you bastard. Who else? The town basically became in ruins. Like there was corruptions, there was rural areas. Now we had nobody to take charge anymore. Come on,
See, this is what happens when you have Walter Lankowski as your leader. He's gonna fuck
There,
you up.
there you go. But anyway, so yeah, Deadpool's like, oops, sorry, but we can't talk about that now because there's zombie symbiotes out there roaming. Okay, and wouldn't you know it, when Deadpool went to the bunkers in Monster Metropolis, who does he find? Let me bring up his picture.
Shikla? Who's that?
No,
It's
I was
Jake.
like, yeah, I was like, oh wait, who is that guy? He kind of seems a little familiar. No way. No.
Who is it? I don't know who this is.
Whoa, no way. The prodigal son has returned. Oh my god, I was like, they didn't mention his name all throughout this book until at the end, but like, I'm thinking to myself, it can't be. I haven't seen this guy in years. It's almost like a joke, the fact that Marvel didn't do anything with this guy.
He's been missing since 2017.
Yes, since the end of X-Men Blue. You know, that book that was with all the young versions of the X-Men?
No, since Venomverse.
I don't know who
No,
this is.
that he was infected in Venomverse, but then like his team from X-Men Blue were trying to save him, and they were like, okay, we
2018. There you go.
we can't. Okay, we should probably just. It's best if we let him to be loose out in the wild. So run free, with a poison symbiote. Okay, so yeah, let me go ahead and state it. It's Jimmy Hudson, audience.
Oh, he has his hands back. How about that? Technically,
Jimmy,
we saw him recently in X-Men 700, I think.
as a background, as a background character, I'm assuming with no speaking
better
lines.
than nothing. All three Jimmy Hudson stands were fucking going wild on Twitter.
Okay. Because we were so thirsty and trying to understand what happened to him. Like, at the height of X-Men with Krakoa and at the height of Venom with Donny Cates, Jimmy Hudson Jimmy Hudson pretty much embodied the worst parts of being a mixed race character because he wasn't mutant enough to be part of Krakoa, and at the same time, he wasn't symbiote enough to be part of all the Venom stuff. So you're like, God dang it, man! You figured somebody will want to do something with
At
you.
least he got his hands back.
That's true. That's true.
So that healing
But
factor must still work. Keep in
yeah.
mind, Cryptid, they didn't even want to bring back Madeline Pryor
Mm-hmm.
and Destiny.
Yeah.
So
But
the
that's
I
only
know.
reason
but
why,
one's an actual mutant, the other one's a clone. That makes perfect sense
I
why
mean,
you
she's
want
still
one of
technically a
those.
mutant. But keep in
Yeah.
mind, Gabby Kinney's also a clone, and they brought
Yeah.
her back.
Yeah. But we also have
But
to keep in mind that
that was a special thing.
yeah.
But
But we also have to
Maddie's
keep
still
in
came
mind
back,
which
so it doesn't matter.
yeah, we also have to keep in mind which this is Jimmy Hudson from the Ultimate Universe. They're different breed of mutants, you know.
Yeah, I know about
And
the
you
Ultimate
Yeah, man
Universe.
made.
I know.
yeah,
I've read
so
that book
that's
the original Ultimate
that
X-Men
that
way too many times. I know.
that that's why
Right.
I would think he's not considered mutant enough to be part of the mutants, you know. damn, damn, dude. And also because he's a poison, that's like a that's like bad news for a symbiote. So I guess they're like, okay, we symbiotes don't even want this guy hanging around our neighborhood, you know? So damn. So I guess
Found
it's
somewhere
perfect.
to chill.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess it's perfectly fitting that the same writer who turned Jimmy Hudson into a poison and the same writer who kind of let Jimmy go into the wild to never be seen again would be bringing him back in a in a Venom book, you know? So
Yeah, I gotta tweet this out real quick. Hold on. I want to see if anyone else believes me.
gotcha. But yeah, as for the rest of the issue, it's pretty straightforward. Like eventually, all the zombietes follow Deadpool's tracks, and they start invading Monster Metropolis. You know, so that's when Deadpool has to team up with his buddy Silence and Jimmy Hudson, and he fully embraces his poison symbiote. You know. Yeah, yeah. Remember, audience, there was an event where apparently there's a symbiote for a symbiote.
I'm just gonna say something real quick, audience.
Yeah.
The Sons of Wolverine cannot catch a break.
yeah,
Am I wrong? Like, we know about Helverine. We know that's Akihiro's business right now, which I hate that. And then now we have this. Like, the sons can't catch a break, but the daughters are doing fine.
ironically speaking, well, except that
Yeah.
one, I forgot what her name, that blonde-haired daughter of Wolverine.
Which
She's doing
Uh,
fine. She live her own
wait.
life.
I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about kids in the 616 universe, so I'm
Oh,
including
okay.
Jimmy in
She's
this
in
only
the
because he
616.
currently lives in 616.
Gotcha. But yeah. Again, I'm kind of like, I finally feel like how you say I'm at peace now. I finally got to see what happened to Jimmy Hudson, and you know maybe they'll think twice and say, okay, let's get rid of the poison crap with him. You know, so by the end of this event, so alrighty then. I guess with that, that's pretty much it for my topic. So alrighty then, we're moving on to the next, unless anybody has any final thoughts.
No, I need to go to Chrome real quick because I don't have the physical comic yet.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right, moving on to the next.
Hi, let's let my comic load real quick, but I'm going to be talking about Ultimate X-Men Volume 2, Issue 7, by the one, the only, Peach Momoko.
Oh,
Did
huh?
I cut out yet?
Oh no, we still here.
Okay,
Everybody.
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't cut out, so
Gotcha.
that's why I was like, I did that. Okay. Anyways, my comic is still loading, so give me a moment. Like I said,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do get a cast list finally, so thoughts on that? Thoughts on the cast list finally?
Tell us what the list is.
So it is Hisako Ichiki, Armor, Mei
Yeah.
Igarashi, Maystorm, Nico Minoru, she doesn't have one just yet, Mori, or Mori if you want to be specific, and Natsu Tsukishima, who is also Nico's friend, Noriko, Ashida, Surge, and Shinobu Kageyama, the Shadow King. So,
Okay.
They're going to have to explain how the maker going back in time made most mutants become Japanese. I kind of want to know.
Don't worry about it. That's all you need to know about X-Men. Don't worry about it. Anyways, so we cut over to the Temple of the Revealed X, aka one of the facilities for the Children of the Atom, which is a mutant cult, if anyone was curious. And we see this like priest-looking guy giving like a sermon or whatever, and he's chatting. Everyone's sitting.
I want to real quick. I want to answer this question. I'm assuming Hiroshima just had a little bit extra kick to it.
Oh my
god!
Time him out for a little bit.
No, Jake, get the fuck out. Get out.
Someone had to say it.
Anyways, so we cut over to this guy giving his sermon. We see Natsu, we see Surge. They're just sitting watching the thing. The sermon, and then we cut over to like this medical facility where Surge is called in, and this nurse lady is giving like a checkup, being like, "Oh, have you been using our gifts? Blah 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 blah. Any side effects? You get the gist, and basically takes away like I guess like her phone because it's not prohibited in this facility because you never know. You can't give away the secrets. The secrets, Jake. The secrets. Anyways, so Surge leaves the room that she was in, and she sees all this like shadowy smoke-looking thing coming out of this one room, and she starts to walk over to it because apparently this is an 80s horror movie apparently. And so one of the nurses was like, not so fast. Like he can't be disturbed right now. Talking about Kageyama, you get the gist. So basically the nurse is like, oh, give our best to your mother, and all that other stuff. So we cut over to Kageyama's room where he's like in a hospital bed or whatever, shadowy. It's spooky. It's spooky, okay. And so basically this one person goes to like the master or meister or whatever the fuck it is, I don't know, being like, oh, I have some news, I have a report, and it's all good, and basically explains how Kageyama has like his X gene, it's not just like telepathy, it's something more, so that's why they're basically using him for their experiments. I low-key kind of feel bad, but at the same time, he is low-key a stalker. Not low-key, high-key a stalker. Anyway, so we see him like just talking about like his gifts and everything, and we see a thing with Nico, like unlocking her staff of one, and all that other stuff. And the person who gave him like the master or whatever these notes, she's like, you mean the group of kids, and names Hisako, Mei, and Nico, And the master's like, oh yeah, duh, that's who else would I be talking about, Like true homo superior. If you don't know what a homo superior is, it's the Latin term for mutants. Does that make sense? Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the master is like, okay, you can leave now. And so calls in this one woman who is wearing like green pants. This will come into importance later, okay? Just remember this woman in green pants, okay?
Okay.
So basically, she comes in and tells the master that there's been another death and be like, oh, how many more can we like sacrifice this year? Like this work, these experiments are too important for this, for like sloppy work. And the master's like, I understand, Viper, like I'll take care of it. I had to look up who Viper was because I wasn't 100% sure. In 616, she went by a different name, but she also goes by Viper now. She was known as Madam Hydra.
Yep. Ophelia. Yep. Know her.
So obviously she's gonna have a different name, but like you get who I'm talking about. We're talking about Madam Hydra, also known as Viper. Okay.
Yep.
But I think she looks
Winston
way better.
The Wolverine.
Yeah, I think she looks way better in this book than she did in that one picture I saw. But whatever.
She was also in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Sure that, but I didn't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I don't care. Anyways, so Viper is like, you won't like it if I am forced to take like matters into my own hands. Like Emperor Sunfire would not be pleased if this went public. Okay? Because remember, Sunfire is ruling over his little like colony country thingy that the master did, which is Japan and also Korea, because Korea can't catch a fucking break for once in their goddamn lives. Anyways, so basically, the master's like, okay, then I'll burn every failure myself. Like, damn, like, don't worry about it. And she's like, okay, like, it's fine. Like, he's been sedated. And so Kageyama, he's able to turn his head, and his, like, eyes are, like, slightly open, you know? And he's like, Hisako, my Hisako, you know, and, like, releases, like, his shadowy powers, and is causing everyone to, like, be in pain, you know? And the master's like, Viper, like, do something. And so basically this is where some of the body horror is coming in, but not really. So basically Viper pulls out this, like, vial thing and basically sedates him again. And she's like, is this boy subconsciously, like, trying to reach out to Hisako Ishiki? What do you think? I want you to guess what that's about. From the last 6 issues. Anyway, so we cut over to Iridori High School. You know, it's a new semester. Mei and Hisako, they're like, oh, like, they're just, like, changing out of, like, their school shoes into, like, their normal shoes, you know. And Mei's like, oh, are you going to the thing tonight? And she's like, the full moon harvest? I don't know, maybe. And so basically, Mei convinces Hisako to go, you know, which is fine. It's cool. Anyways, so basically she gets, like, slashed or whatever, or, like, bumped in by someone, and by this one girl who's, like, wearing, like, this sword thing on her back, you know. She has, like, black, you know, she has, like, her black hair. She has, like, this purple ribbon around her sleeve, you know. Keep her in mind. I will come back to her in a moment.
Right.
Anyways, you could probably guess who I'm talking about by the cover, but, like, we'll get back to that. Anyways, so Mei's like, excuse you. Anyways, so are you going to the thing? You know, and so Hisako's like, I don't know. You know, she's, like, pondering. And Mei's like, oh, come on. Like, after all the stuff that we've been through, like, I feel like we deserve it, you know? And Hisako's like, it's not that. Like, I feel like this red power thing is only getting stronger, you know? And so we cut over to, like, this match, you know, this, like, sparring match between these two people. And so this one guy who this person was sparring with was like, okay, enough, Kanon. Like, other person, you win. So this is Psylocke. Just letting you know. This is Psylocke.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If you're going to read a Peach Momoko book, 9 times out of 10, she's going to be in this book. She's going to be written and drawn by
She's
Peach
obsessed
Momoko.
with the character.
I mean, I get it. She's cool as hell. Like, I understand completely. But besides the point. So Kanon, she, like, changes back into her normal clothes. She gets on the subway. She goes over to, like, this police station where her brother works, because she has a brother in this. And she's like, I beat the hell out of some sophomores. And her brother's like, okay, let me give you some life advice over here, you know? Like, when you're good at something, like how you're good at kendo, you shouldn't just beat people, you know? You should teach them, share what you know how it is. And Kanon's like, you're gonna lecture me? You're my brother, Tatsuya, not my parent, you know? And so basically he's like, go home, Kanon, I'm busy, I don't have time to babysit you. And so this old lady comes in, you know, and she's like, oh yeah, there's, like, this weird suitcase that pulled up by this river. I think you should go check it out. And Kanon's like, ooh, intriguing. In, like, this sing-songy tone. Like, literally that's in the text bubble, by the way, just letting you know. And her brother's like, oh, if you let me know the specific location, like, we'll keep going. Like, we'll look around. So Kanon's like, oh, hell yeah, I'm gonna go. And so she bolts. She unlocks her inner speedster and runs to this lake. Or, like, this river or whatever. I don't remember what she said, what the old lady says, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. So they get to the river. So imagine a river with, like, a bunch of, like, brush, you know? Like, pretty simple river look, okay? So basically, her and her brother are looking around, and they find the suitcase in question. Ooh, I wonder what's in this suitcase, besties. Anyways, so Kanon takes it upon herself to open it, even though it has, like, this foul smell, which no one likes a foul smell in a suitcase by a river. You know that's bad vibes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they open it up, and they find a cut up body parts in this suitcase. And obviously it's not pretty, but we can probably figure out where it's from. Children of the Atom. Yes, exactly, guys. Exactly. Because we see it etched onto the dead person's skin. and it's nasty because it's a dead person who was chopped up, thrown in a suitcase in a river, and then called it a day. Which, come on, if you're gonna dispose of a body, get good, like be better. You could Google that. You could Google how to do that. I wouldn't recommend it for legal reasons, but yeah, you could do it. Anyway, so we cut over to the afternoon of the following day, and Tatsuya gets a ring at his doorbell after he's sleeping because he just worked a 24-hour shift, which must fucking suck. Anyways, so basically he opens the door and he's like, "What do you want?" And so Viper pulls up. Remember her from earlier? So she says calls him by his name, and he's like, "Yeah, that's me." And she's like, "Oh, your superiors informed us that you found something of ours and we've retrieved it."
Yeah. Oh no, which?
Oh, return with the Ultimate X-Men. Messages.
Viper took Witch out. That's what happened. Someone message Witch. Someone message Witch.
In the meantime, what is your favorite X-Men? Actually, no, that's a good question. I actually can't think of my favorite X-Men right now.
Oh, either people now. I don't like any of them now.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't even like, damn, I'm trying to think of I don't think any of them. Based on how the Krakoa is seen, I don't think any of them have been likable recently.
Yeah. They have to justify why X-Men are going to war to save Xavier's dream. Like,
again? Isn't the second time this has happened?
I know.
Okay,
Witch, you're back.
Okay.
The last thing we heard from you was talking about Viper coming back in.
Okay, so basically, she gives him a paper, being like, "Oh, you have to sign this because your superiors told us about a thing that belonged to us, and we got the book, like the suitcase back, right?" So basically, she hands him a paper, and you could probably guess what the paper is. It's an NDA, by the way. If you don't know what an NDA is, the non-disclosure agreement. So if you don't know what an NDA is, please Google that. So anyways, Kanan comes home later on, and she's like, "Oh, like you cooking? Like what's up?" And she brings up the suitcase, and he's like, "What suitcase? Like what are you talking about?" And she's like, "Are you still asleep or something? Like the suitcase with like the dead body in it." And she sees the NDA on the table, and she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? What is this? A non-disclosure agreement?" And he's like, "That is something telling you to forget the whole thing. And what are you talking about? What fucking suitcase?" Anyway, so remember that Harvest Moon Festival thing, like the full moon festival, that May was bringing up for Hisako to go to? Remember that?
Yeah.
So basically, she ends up going, and May's over here dressed up in a cute yukata, which is a style of traditional clothes, and she looks adorable, but don't worry that Hisako isn't nice and dressed up, because Mori and Natsu aren't dressed up either. In this little group, it's Nico and May dressed up. Hey, it's so cute. Anyways, so Nico looking at something, and Hisako's like, "What are you looking at?" So everyone decides to look up, because that's where Nico is. And they see this giant eyeball in the sky, which, if you look at it closely, you can see all the pencil marks that Peach did, because she did traditional art for this, because I love it. Anyways, so they're like, "Is that getting bigger?" Because, remember who was doing that? The Shadow King? He was doing that. Anyway, so we get a little lexicon, explaining the festival in question. I'm not going to get into it today, but you can read the book yourself. Anyways, that's where the issue ends. So stay tuned for next month, because I will be talking about this book. I love the cover, by the way, for the next issue. But I'll get into that next week. So, next month. Hopefully, I'll have a laptop to be able to use StreamYard better. Okay? Cool?
Okay. Cool.
Awesome.
Keep an eye out for the moon in the sky, audience.
Keep an eye out for the giant eyeball in the sky. There you go. Because if you see a giant eyeball in the sky, I don't know what to tell you, man. That's not a me problem. That's
It's Sauron.
Gotcha. So yeah, but to be, I'm actually kind of interested to see what this is. Viper's first introductions in this book, right?
Yes, we have not
Okay,
seen her until this issue.
gotcha. What would her life be without Hydra? Hmm. If the
Working for
Maker
the
got rid
children
of
of
her,
the atom, duh.
I guess, yeah. Okay, now that just brings to mind like what I kind of want to see what happened to the rest of the higher ups of Hydra, like in the
The
Ultimate
master
You
Universe.
know,
probably did something to them, or they're
Mm-hmm.
just chilling out somewhere. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
it's funny, which
Hmm.
the last time we seen a quote unquote mutant cult was ran by Emma Frost. You remember that?
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
I
was
mean, she
Marvel
wasn't part of
Ruins.
the
Anyone who
Hellfire
knows?
Club. She was a villain for a while. Just remember that.
Gotcha. But alright then. I guess with that we can move on to the next topic, audience. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do.
Oh,
Ooh, Jake, it's
oh,
your
that's the
turn.
wrong picture. But
Oh,
that's right. I forgot to get you a picture. Oh,
fuck!
He's
It's
an
okay. It's
idiot.
okay.
So it's his
You know,
own fault.
you know how long it took me to upload all these
wait, no,
pictures
that's a
to this
wrong
video.
picture. No, no, no,
No,
no.
it's fine.
That's
It's
all.
fine.
Hang on,
Jake,
hang
be
on. I can
grateful
go
for
through the
the
logs.
work that
That's actually a
Cryptid
lie.
does.
I remember because I got it early that week. Hang on, I'm gonna.
Jake, be grateful for the work that Cryptid is putting into this.
I'm ready. It's the wrong picture.
Okay, which one is it? Which one is it?
I think I sent it last week. It's whatever. Whatever. Yeah, I see it. It's last week, but if you didn't upload it, it's whatever. It just has all the 6 still on there. But yeah, anyway, spoilers for later. This is going to be Bionicle, What Lurks Below, the finale review. Ignore the Rakshi who are not in this not in this but yeah, so the back half of this book was actually, I think, my favorite Bionicle story so far, at least in the book format. I really enjoyed this book. I think the stakes were way higher than the first half, and even in the first book. And I really appreciated our newer villains. So basically, a recap for those who weren't there last week. The Toa had faced off against the Borak swarms, and after defeating their queens, Karak and Garak, they will receive new powers, making the Toa Mata into the Toa Nuva. After gaining this huge surge of elemental powers, they decided to disband as a team, much to Gali's annoyance. And then their powers were stolen by a mysterious new villain, and they were like, "What the fuck?" So the race was on to basically figure out who stole their powers. So one of the things right off the bat I like about this book is just how it escalates the stakes straight away. Even in the downtime, there's a really good scene with Toa Tahu and Vakama. And Vakama's senses that something bad is going to happen. So he tells Tahu about this mask that he has hidden away called the Mask of Time. And this is the strongest, most overpowered mask in the verse up to this point because it can tear apart time and reality in the wrong hands. And I like the message that Vakama gives to Tahu, basically, that while it is a mask that could probably solve a lot of their problems, it shouldn't be used recklessly. And that while he is entrusting this mask to Tahu, he's also trusting him to only use it at the right time. Which I think is interesting because Tahu is a character who, even in his first introduction, I think the first piece of dialogue in his head was like, wow, I have so much power. I could burn this island to the ground. So having Tahu be responsible for something that powerful, I think was kind of a great character journey for him. In terms of the mysterious villains, we find out that the villains that stole the Toa Nuva's powers is actually the Borak Cow, which are the Borak's version of Toa. If ever the Borak swarm was deactivated, the Borak would be released, and their mission would be to revive the queens so they could go back to destroying the island. And the Borak are nothing to play with. They immediately dismantle the Toa in a way that no other villain has had. That's the one I was looking for. Thank you. So, they immediately defeat the Toa Nuva in a way that the Toa are just not used to. They've never been quite handled like this. And so the Toa decide to, but what's fortunate for them is that the Boracal aren't interested in killing the Toa Nuba. They're more interested in finding Kadak and Gadak. So the Toa have to make sure that the pathway to the Queens is sealed off, while also trying to figure out a way to defeat the Boracal. The problem is, these guys are fucking strong. I think the Toa Nuba have like 6 different rematches with the Boracal, and they lose every single one of them. They try everything from their fusion forms, because yes, the Toa can fuse together. They try their fusion forms. They try traps. They try sending an army at them. They try using whatever powers they can. They just can't beat these guys.
Jake, that sounds like a skill issue on their part.
It is kind of a skill issue. They even know the weakness for the Boracal, but it doesn't matter, because even when they can exploit it, they can recover immediately. So it's kind of like, so it gets to the point where it's like, even some of the Toa who are more known for like, never giving up are starting to be like, fuck, I don't know what we can do at this point. It's like, I don't know what to do. There is there even is a moment when it gets to the final battle, and the Boracal is basically almost won, where Tahu's like, fuck it, I don't know if this is what Vakama meant, but I have to use the Mask of Time right now. And in trying to stop the Borak with the powers of time, the Borak are so strong that they are breaking through time itself and causing time to fracture. And Tahu's like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do? The entire Toa team, there's like a point even still where like in that moment when Tahu is pretty much failed, they just kind of sit there and go like, it's over. Like, fuck, I don't know. There's nothing we can do.
Like, I don't know, besties. Like, we gotta like not.
We tried our best, and I like
our best, besties.
We did what we could. But luckily, Gali, the Toe of Water, she says, like, you know what? No, we might lose, but we are the Toa. The Matoran count on us. It is our duty to save them. It is our destiny to try. And through unity, we're going to pull out something. And the
that
Toa...
sounds like a Power Rangers thing.
Yeah. Well,
that sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh thing.
Well, yeah. And so they come up with this plan to overload the Borak's powers, so that because they can't beat the Borak, they use the Borak's powers to kill themselves. So they supercharge the Borak to the point where, like, because one of them controls gravity. So when his power overtakes him, he creates a black hole and kills himself on accident.
Oh my god!
Yeah, there's like one that like electrocutes himself to death and all this other shit. It's like very violent. But against all odds, the Toa saved the day, and after they leave the cave, they just sit down and they're like, "Fuck!" It's like we nearly lost that so badly.
Like, we need to go take a nap.
Right, like they just take a nap right outside the cave. So,
honestly, can I be 100% real with you, Jake? I would have done the same thing.
Yeah,
like that's completely valid.
Yeah, it was like they all just kind of sat together, and even Tahu, who was like the most like hot-headed, like I want to do this by myself, he was like, you know what, guys, I think I learned a valuable lesson today. Let's not be a team. Let's just always work together, because that was kind of scary. But yeah, I think this book, the back half of the book, was really great, really intense. He had some really cool moments. I like how they followed up on Lewa's PTSD from his brainwashing. I did like how all the Toa had these little small moments, and their interactions. Again, the Toa Nuba's interactions are great. Their personalities clashing are very reminiscent of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where which is designed on various personalities clashing, but still forming a cohesive team. And I think that's what the Toa Nuba shine to me. They have that same that TMNT feel to them. They might not like working together all the time, but they're family at the end of the day, and they know how to get it together. And another shout out too, what I really like too was that the Matoran once again do not roll over and get their asses kicked. There are villains, the Toa need help. The Toa might be their protectors, but they jump in the fray to help the Toa when they can. There's even a scene that I really liked where Tahu goes off to fight a Boracal member by himself, and he gets his ass like whooped hard. But Tahu is so prideful, like he's like, don't you turn your back on me! I'll beat your ass up. I'll beat your ass right here, right now. And one of the Matoran Jala, like he gets in front of him, he's like, no, you're not fighting that guy anymore. And Tahu's like, are you talking to me? And he's like, yeah, because believe it or not, we need you. And we can't have you die just because your feelings got hurt because you lost. So like, chill, back up. Let's do this together. And I like that. I think that's one of my favorite moments in the book. Just again, seeing a Matoran stand up to like his hero and having to tell him like, hey, sit down, chill out. Let's do this together. Another thing I did like is we get set up for later arcs down the line. So basically, Jala at the end, and I think Uku, I forgot his name, but there's two Matorans that get their name changed for their contributions in stopping the Boracal. So Jala upgrades to Jalur, and for those who know the series going forward, that's going to be important for a later story. And we also get the introduction of Huki, who is also going to be an important character later in the story as well. But what lurks below, highly recommend this book. The first half is going to be more or less the same quality as book one, but a little bit more action paced. But the back half of this book is very entertaining and very intense in a good way, and I really like it. So, recommend this book. You can also, once again, on Crossfire Geeks, all the book chapters are free. Read to your heart's content. So,
cool.
Yeah.
All right, then. Another enjoyable Bionicle discussion. So I guess with that, we can move on to the next topic, which is equally enjoyable. We're talking about Spider-Boy Annual Number 1, audience.
Who the hell are these two other nerds?
Out the gate with a lie is crazy, Krypton. I'm not gonna lie.
One thing, why does Spider-Boy, he's supposed to be 10, right? Like 10
Yeah.
to 12, give or take. I'm going to give him some leeway. Why does he look so muscular here?
Hey,
He looks like a teenager to an adult. Not a 10 to 12-year-old.
Artist don't know how to do proportion.
I remember seeing Gohan with abs when he was 10, so all right.
90s, okay?
He's an alien fan who trains.
That was a different time.
He looks so wrong here.
Gotcha. Working out.
Did the cover artist not know how old Spider-Boy was? I have to.
Yeah, I guess. The cover artist maybe not, but I'll show you in the rest of the issue he's drawn like a 10-year-old.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need to know.
So anyway, audience, look at that. Spider-Boy is successful enough to make it to an annual. Look at that. But anyway, this picks up with Bailey Briggs and his friend Christine as they're in Coney Island together. And Bailey's excited about this, like, oh my god, this was such a great idea, Christine. Now that I'm in school, I can never do anything fun now, So he really needed this trip. I mean, come on, superheroing plus schoolwork, he needs a break, Unfortunately for him, this is when he runs into this other kid who has a dog face. Yeah, you heard me, audience, a dog face. So unfortunately, this other kid is out pickpocketing people, and when Bailey sees him, he's like, he was probably experimented on by Madame Monstrosity. So I gotta go make sure this kid is safe. Look, I know better than anyone else how hard it is to deal with this sort of thing, being spliced with an animal and being considered a freak by the world. Hey, Bailey's been going through hardships, audience. All right, Who else knows about having their pictures splattered all across the newspapers and everybody throwing cans at him, But anyway, so as the issue goes on, Bailey puts on his Spider-Man gimmick, and while this is going on, coincidentally, another occurrence is happening in that same island. And this is where we're introduced to the two other people that are on this cover, Apex and damn, I forgot the other guy's name. In case people need a little status quo update when it came to the Infinity Stones, those Infinity Stones are now gone to people now. So what you're seeing right here is one Apex. He's the holder of the was it the Power Stone, while the other one is holder of the Soul Stone. You know, you guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So basically, right now, and what do the stones do? They have an urge to all get together, you know. So they're kind of like trying to find the rest of the people who have a stone, and yeah, and that other person would happen to be here in Coney Island. So we cut back to Spider Boy as he's tailing into this dog faced boy. He eventually catches him and like gives him the explanation like, look, are you from Minor Monstrosity's lab? And the dog faced boy is like saying, oh, no, I'm an inhuman. Oh, look at that. Another inhuman character, audience. I think we need a break from all the mutants popping up. All
No,
right.
I think we need more mutants.
Inhumans need some love too, audience.
No,
all right.
more mutants. That's what Wanda meant to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
20
What was
years
it?
ago.
Yeah. 2018 didn't happen with the X-Men versus Inhumans. All right. So there was no war.
There
Oh,
is
was it
no
there?
war in Bossing Say.
Yeah. Oh, there was no toxic cloud storming the globe, killing mutants and empowering Inhumans. Audience. All right. So yeah. Anyway, the dog faced kid is a little bit is upset because Spider Boy just basically ruined his audition because dog faced boy was trying to steal to impress the Circus of Crime. I don't know if y'all are too familiar with them. Um, it's as you expected, like some D-list villains, led by a ringmaster who has this Abraham Lincoln sort of hat with a little hypnotizing thing on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the ringmaster's like, okay, now we gotta crush Spider Boy. So he sends his goons to
Well deserved.
attack him. Hey, he probably wants to put Spider Boy in his circus of crime as a sideshow piece. Oh, you want a kid to feel more embarrassed about how he looks, man? Come on,
We all went through it and we came stronger because of it.
Okay. But anyway, as this is going down, that's when the two other Infinity Stone users come in, and help out Bailey during his time of need. And the Apex guy, you can already assume what his stats are with his powers, right? Strength and vulnerability and that stuff. But the Soul Stone guy, oh man, he's actually able to conjure up souls. But I guess
Oh, the
the way
Soul Stone guy can conjure up souls? Oh my god.
yeah, but like to people who are close to you, like in this case, like the people that are around him happen to think highly of Nova, of Kazar, and hey, even Luna Snow, and he creates projections of them. In Bailey
Spoiler
Briggs'
alert,
case,
that guy's dead.
What was the last
He
time
like
he
died
was
in
Quasar
the
in anything?
no, I
Kazar?
bet this soul guy. This soul guy dies in the Hulk annual and he gets replaced by Colleen Wing.
But no, well, it's funny you should mention. Well, I don't want to get too ahead of myself with Colleen, but really? Oh, I guess he resurrected himself, I guess. It's the Soul Stone, Austin, yeah, after
No,
all.
Thanos kills him. Hulk kills Thanos, and then Colleen Wing picks up Soul Stone. That's how that book goes.
Okay, I guess he probably has a different sort of stone then, but I want to save Colleen for later. But anyway, of course, when he gets near Bailey, he has Spider-Man and Spider-Woman conjuring up around him. They all defeat the bad guys, and right now you have like hold a sec. You have who else enters the ring? Colleen Wing, because apparently she has another stone too. Yeah, that's the person those two were looking for, apparently. So good for them. They have three people on their side now. afterwards, they kind of explained the situation to Spider Boy about like the stones, this and that. And I kind of love this panel as Spider Boy is looking directly at the audience, saying, "Does this mean do I get an Infinity Stone too?"
No,
Oh no,
you are
Critter,
too.
you're right.
You
I
should
was
not be
wrong. It was the
wielding an
Mind
Well,
Stone.
Infinity Stone.
Mind Stone. Okay, yeah, Mind
Yeah,
Stone.
Colleen got the Mind Stone. That guy got killed.
Okay. But, well, you don't think a 10-year-old should be in charge of a stone witch?
No, he's 10.
Do you remember when a 10-year-old was the Cosmic Cube? Remember how bad that turned out?
Hey, I remember there's a kid in a TV show who has a watch that has the power to destroy a universe. But we're
He
okay with
also has
that,
an
right?
Uncle Ben. Okay, I didn't see. I don't see Baylor with Uncle Ben.
Peter's is Uncle Ben.
He's really not.
He's his moral guidance. So, all right. But anyways, Bailey's even like saying, "Oh, okay, maybe okay. If not a stone, can I have a pebble at least? Come on, a pebble, guys. Give him something. He earns a reward. He should earn something. You know." Even the soul guy is like saying, "Look, all three of those Infinity Stone wielders, they start moving on." But that soul guy is like looking to Bailey, saying, "Look, I enjoyed meeting you, Spider Boy. You have a good soul." Okay, yeah, there you go, audience. And the issue pretty much just ends with those three stone wielders meeting the next three stone wielders who are, Star. And I don't know who the other two are. I just can't remember their names. And pretty much the rest of the issue is dedicated to Phil Coulson and Nick Fury Jr. As they're kind of catching up on things. Because remember, audience, Phil Coulson is the wielder of the Death Stone. Now, yeah, just go with it. So, all right, decent issue. Bailey's getting more attention, this and that. So, all right then. You guys have any final thoughts before we move on? Do you guys hear me?
No. Yeah, I
Oh,
can
okay,
hear
okay.
you. I was saying no. You
We
didn't
wanted you to
show
have
me
that
a
awkward
picture of what
silence.
Spider Boy looked like in the book.
He
I'm
looked
just
like
gonna
how he
let
used to
him.
look.
Hmm. Like
Hold
a
on.
hero.
I'm pulling up my book because let's hope
Gotcha.
I can get through this book because I have a lot of pictures, audience, for my next
Okay.
book.
All right. Putting up the next topic. Doo-doo.
I'm talking about Marvel Voices Avengers Academy issue 13. It's called Makeover. Okay. So we start out outside of we're in New York City, by the way, if you guys were curious. Oh my god, New York City. Anyways, so we're
Mhm.
outside Van Dyne Designs. Glad to know that Web Weaver Janet Van Dyne is mashing up with 616 Janet. Anyways, so Carol is leading the students over, where she's like, oh yeah, if we can't be late, like Janet will shrink me down and step on me. Like she canceled on Johnny Storm for this. Jake, how do you feel that that Janet Van Dyne canceled on Johnny Storm to hang out with a bunch of kids? Thoughts? Cool.
He's gone. She deserves a lot better than Johnny Storm.
Mm.
Fair enough. Anyway, so Justin, Kid Juggernaut, by the way, Cryptid, if you were curious, he's like, where are we going? And Aaron was like, I thought you said when you said a field trip, I thought you were going to say the negative zone. And Carol's like, oh, this is much more dangerous. So, Cryptid, can you cut to the next picture, please? It's the same as the cover, but a little bit different. Anyways,
Mhm.
so we cut over to inside Janet's, like, her, like, boutique style thing, where she was like, okay, kids, it's time for you to learn the most important thing about being a superhero. Fashion! Yay! Austin, how do you feel about fashion?
Bad.
Okay, fair enough. Anyways, so she's like, when they remember us, they'll remember our his like heroic feats, but they'll remember what we wore. Trust me, I always remember what they wear. Anyways, Cryptic, can you cut to the next picture, please? Cryptic.
Yeah. Hold.
Thank you. Anyways,
Mm.
So she's like, some of you guys are already rocking it. Some of you guys can use a little help, and we'll get to the rest of y'all later. Anyways, let's get to work. And I just want to say with this panel, Sheila, Justin never changed. Love the facial expression. Everyone else is just kind of like annoyed or like they don't really care all that much. But Sheila and Justin are here for a good time. Okay? They're just vibing. I love them for that, honestly. Austin, how do you feel about them? Austin.
So,
What, these people on the panel? That's what you're trying to ask?
Yeah, like, how do you feel about them?
I like their designs. I like the way they're drawn. They got
Because we got the original artist back.
Oh, okay. I don't remember what it looked like originally. I mean, before when he left.
Like, I brought up that they had a different artist for.
You did. That was you said that last week, right? Yeah.
I think I did say it last week that they had guest artists for that one issue, and then they went back to the original artist.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we cut over to Moon Girl talking with Janet, and she's like, I don't care about fashion. And Janet being like, well, you should, because fashion is like a language. It's an efficient system of communication, you know? Like, the right outfit can, like, tell you about a person. Like, trust. You can know. Anyway, you know, so she's taking, showing Lunella, like, a little bit of some of the other costumes. You know, we see a Fantastic Four suit, which I could probably assume that's either for Reed or for Johnny. You know, remember, because we got to bring up the Fantastic Four because we got mentioned that earlier. Anyways, so Janet's like, what do you stand for? And so Lunella's like, I want to be useful, efficient, reliable, and neat. I want people to know that they're safe with me and that I'm here to help. And Cryptic, can you take to the next picture? Thank you. And she's like, I need pockets. Honestly, valid. Pockets are very important. Jake, right? Pockets are important?
Pockets are extremely... I'm not kidding. I feel sad when people wear pants that don't have working pockets.
Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started when I don't have pockets, man. That's why I bring a bag everywhere with me, just in case. But, yeah, that's the outfit that Janet Van Dyne made for Lunella, which looks very similar to the outfit that she wore in the show. Jake, you watched the show, right? The Moon Girl.
Was it the Moon Girl? I saw season 1. I thought it was okay.
Does this outfit kind of look like the one that she wears?
From what I remember, yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so we cut over to Red Goblin next, where the symbiote itself is eating a whole bunch of treats, which I'm assuming are macarons, because they look like macarons. Anyways, so Janet's like, a living suit, very avant-garde. And Normie is like, oh yeah, you would think with all this Osborne money, I wouldn't be wearing my grandpa's hand-me-downs. And Janet's like, oh yeah, your grandfather was always so precise. Like, not a crimped hair out of place. So his waves were on point. Remember that, Austin. He had, like, the best waves that a white man can have. Like, you know, even before his goblin form, you know. Anyways, so Janet is, like, basically he's holding this, like, red box, you know. And she opens it up, and it's this fancy-ass watch. It's a nice-looking watch. Jake, how do you feel about watches?
Watches? I mean, my favorite watch is the Omnitrix, but I don't really use them outside of that.
Okay, just curious. You don't even use the Yokai watch?
That's a fun watch. I tried it, but
couldn't get into it.
It failed me in the end. So.
Fair enough. So basically, Janet is explaining how like some of its uses, and she basically sets the macarons on fire, which shocks Red Goblin. So basically, it can be used as a fire extinguisher, by the way. This tiny, normal-sized watch can be used as a fire extinguisher, you know, with like 400 liters of flame-retardant foam. Like, dang, like his symbiote's gonna be, Rascal's gonna be vibing, you know? Anyways, can you put to the next picture, please? Thank you! Anyways, we cut over to Escapade, which, best girl, by the way. She's great. We love her in the film. Anyways, so Janet praises Jumbo Carnation's like work because it's Jumbo Carnation. He's gonna give great work, no matter how simple it is. Like, you don't need to know X-Men lore for that. You know, you get me? You understand? Where was Jumbo when you need him here? We needed him in this issue. Right, Jake?
Yeah.
Anyways, so Sheila's starting to feel like a little bit nervous about something, you know? And so Janet, she shrinks down, you know, as you do.
No,
like,
Janet's better than Jumbo. Janet is way better than Jumbo.
How fucking dare you?
100%.
How fucking
Janet,
dare you?
is credited as the greatest fashion sense in the Marvel Universe by multiple people.
Well,
Listen,
you have
it's
a
time
team
for
of
her. It's time for her to be dethroned. Okay.
It's why
You know
she's
what?
the
They
only
should work
one with an
together. They
actual
should work
clothing line
together.
around worldwide. Not even Jumbo has that.
Janet and Jumbo should work together on like a fashion show or something, or like a fashion line. I would buy those.
Give us the
Anyway,
Versus book, and it's just a fashion show. There you
it's
go.
just a fashion show. I would read that honestly.
But then
to be
it
honest
ends
with you.
with a team up against a bigger corporation.
And if you wanted to do outside of 616, you can have Webweaver in there. I don't know. We'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. Not
The
important.
multiversal line.
Yeah, multiversal fashion show. You have Janet from 2 different universes. You have Jumbo, you have Webweaver, and you have North Star from Webweaver's universe. Okay, that's the lineup. That's the lineup, besties. Anyways, where was I? Anyways, so Shuri gives Janet some dice, because she had some dice on hand. Why not? And so Janet puts one of the dice in Sheila's hand, and it basically turns into like these like firework type things, like nano glitter. That's what it's called. Tech canceling nano glitter. What's your thoughts on nano glitter, by the way? Anyone can respond. I don't care.
What do you mean? What's nano glitter?
Basically, it's nanotech glitter.
Right, but like for what
My
purpose?
existence,
I
but
think you're
also
spending your money on the wrong things in life.
Right,
Do a lot more.
like what would
a lot
you?
less.
Right,
like
what's
is
wrong
it
with
easy
just
to
regular
clean
glitter?
up, Janet? Like, I need to know. Is it easy to clean up?
I would, if that's the benefit, sure.
If it's a nano-binary self-thinking robots, it better be.
Right.
For
How
real.
much is the nano glitter? Is it like how much am I spending on it?
I don't know about that, but anyway, Sheila asks Janet if she has anything that would make her like look pretty, for like a first date. And Cryptic, can you cut to the next picture, please? Thank you, because Janet knows how to dress a girl up. She knows how to dress a girl up. Trans icon Sheila. Anyways, so Janet's like, oh my god, I've always wanted to play fairy godmother. And Sheila's happy with it, and it's all good and dandy, Anyways, so Janet's like, trust, I am the expert. Whoever is sitting across from you on this date is gonna be very, very happy. And Sheila's like, I hope so, And she's looking out this like doorway to looking at Brielle, because Sapphics gotta win. Sapphics are gonna win in this book, Jake.
I'll take your word for it.
Exactly. Anyway, so we cut over to Kid Juggernaut. So yeah, basically he has a magic suit. There's not much you could do about the magic suit. Sidorak is not known for his fashion. Anyway, so Cryptic, can you cut to the next picture, please?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Anyways, so Justin changes out of his like hero suit, and Janet's like, are you serious? A hockey jersey as clothes? And Justin's like, oh yeah, my mom bought me this. She got my name on it. Do you see? Like, she says I look very dashing. Justin is such a mama's boy, it's not even funny. I love my himbo Juggernaut boy. I love you. I love him so much. Anyway, so he's like, they're comfy. And also, socks and sandals. Justin, I love you, but no socks and sandals, please. Like, no, those aren't sandals. Those are slides. I misspoke. My bad. Austin, don't kill me. Don't kill me, Austin.
He won't, but I will.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so
I will tomorrow.
So Janet seems like a little bit defeated. She's like, I'm just gonna sign you for an Underwear of the Month club and call it a day. Please don't tell anyone I helped you out. Anyways, so we're gonna cut over to Brielle, which I didn't have a picture for Brielle, but I'm just gonna just tell you what happens, because I can do that. I was already given Krypton a lot of work to do. Anyways, so Janet goes to where Brielle is, with her assistants helping out, and she's like, okay, you know how to dress. The goth chic thing is amazing. I love the pops of purple. Now we're gonna help you accessorize, okay? Silver line, boots, with crucifixes on the bottom, for stopping out vampires, because you never know. Anyway, so the Bifrost opens up, and we see Valkyrie come out, and so basically, Brielle's like, oh my gosh, Valkyrie. And so Valkyrie's like, you could just call me Runa, so I'm here to give you the tusk of wrath. Radiscore. I never know how to pronounce their name. Don't worry about it. It's a squirrel. It's not a squirrel actually. It's not actually a rodent. It's like a dragon. That's what Rata scored. I never know how to pronounce it. Anyway, so Brielle's like, oh my god, it's
Which? Someone message which be cut off.
This was brought to you by Avengers Academy. Remember that time they made an iPhone game and they lied to me? No, I know people remember when that game first came out. There was a game called Avengers Academy where you had to play as the Avengers as teenagers, and they promised you could make your own ships, you could have Iron Man and Wasp date, and they never put that in the game. I was so mad. I fucking hated it.
I don't remember when they did try hinting at those two at Dance Lots Run, I believe.
But I could have made it.
They did. They dated in Dance Lots Run.
Right.
There was no hint.
Yeah, I just wanted.
Hi. Where did that cut off, by the way?
Brielle, I think.
Okay, so I think I know what we're talking about. Okay, so Runa gives Brielle this steak that's made from the tusk of a dragon in Norse mythology. And so the pommel, it has like this orb on it, by the way, is from the Eye of Belos, who's the frost giant, who sought to bring forth Ragnarok. Which, don't worry about it, honestly. And so Runa just leaves. She just leaves. She doesn't even like stay to hang out with like Carol or Shuri or whatever. Anyways, so Brielle is like, fuck yeah, I got a cool thing. And so Janet's like, one last thing, and gives Wallace Purgis a collar, like a little collar, and is like, oh, if Lost return to Brielle Brooks, Earth 616. So slay, Anyways, so we cut over to Erin, right? And so she's like, oh, love the tattoos, love the piercings. A little busy for a repeated drawing, but that's okay. Anyways, so Erin's like, why would anyone draw me? And Janet's like, where are you styling your hair? And he's like, see? And she's like, that works. And so Janet's over here, just like testing some drawings out. She's like, you need to professionalize and all that other stuff, And Erin's like, I do blow the crotches out of a lot of them. So I could use some new denim overall. And can you go to the next picture, please? I hate this so much. Janet, I love you, but this is fucking ugly.
I think for the most part it's fine. I just don't like the mask.
No, and like the thing is, I don't think it really fits Erin as a character. Right? He's known as Captain America of the Railways. This doesn't give that vibe.
It was like Chavez's outfit without the mask.
Yeah, I can see America wearing this, honestly. Like, if you ditch the mask and maybe give it a more muted color scheme, I think that would work 100 times better.
What if you put like a railroad on his shirt with a star in between the...
No, that seems like a little too much, honestly.
Yeah.
Route like, 66 with a star in the middle.
Like make it like a darker like denim navy blue and like a maroon instead of like a really bright red. Like that's what the shield is for. The shield could be like that because that makes sense, but the outfit needs to be a little bit more muted. I feel like that would work better. But also, I hate these masks. Anyways, so going back to it. Sorry, I had to go on that rant. That's my only complaints about this issue so far is this fucking outfit. Anyways,
well, it sounds like he's saying it just isn't me. He's saying that too, right?
Yeah, he's also saying that, yes.
Okay.
And so Janet is like, okay, I'm going to box this up for you for right now because, like, if you come to wear it, that's on you, Anyway, so she makes him, like, a school uniform because I'm assuming everyone else is going to get school uniforms later on. But she's like, okay, this is for you, all for you, just in case we need to look spiffy or anything. Like Steve Rogers designed that crest, by the way. Like, did you know he used to be a comic artist? Yes. Yes, we did, Janet. We love you, but yes, we did. Anyways, so she's like, it's not for every day, but it still looks sharp, And Erin's like, damn, this is like the first pair of pants that I've owned in God knows how long, because, he's known for wearing overalls. And he's like, how do I look? And she's like, oh, like a perfect gentleman. That Mysterio hottie has been, like, that you've been running around is, like, gonna love it. you know. Anyway, so we cut over to Carol and Shuri having a spa day. We love a good spa day, you know. And one of Janet's assistants, like Mimosa, and Carol, you know, is actually bringing up something from the past. You know, we do that apparently. She's like, "Oh yeah, I don't drink, but I'll take the OJ though," you know. And Shuri's like, "Carol, if I may ask, like, why was this lesson so important to the students? You know, like, why did we cancel the lesson on inhuman genetics and emergence?" Sorry, Cryptid, no Inhumans love for you today. Anyways, so Carol's like, "Oh, I don't know, Shuri, maybe we shouldn't have, but I just wanted them to feel a little bit special, you know, feel a little bit pampered, you know, like a little scene. You know, like the truth is, Janet's right. This is stuff that they'll remember, you know, not world-shaking fights or anything. Like it's the quiet around them, you know, like they got to be people."
I don't know. I remember when Noel shows up and rips people's faces off in front of me. I think that'll be pretty memorable for me.
But... Yeah, but you know, this is a school.
Right.
This is a school for a new era of heroes, you know.
For gifted youngsters, if you will.
No, they're not mutants. Only like.
But they're gifted.
Like how many of them are actually mutants? I don't remember. Anyway, so Janet comes in. You know, she swings the door open. And Carol's like, "Oh, and who doesn't love a good makeover?" And Shuri's like, "A mud mask and a massage." And Carol's like, that's two. And so Janet's like, "Ladies, I think we're ready. May I present the Avengers Academy?" And so we see everyone in their uniform, like in their suits, you know, and all that other stuff. And they look good, you know, what they're wearing. You know, it's like, you know. We got the Inhuman rep, we got the Juggernaut rep, we got our Mutant rep, we got our Symbiote rep, our Vampire rep, and we got our Mutate rep. So, how we feeling? How we feeling for the Alpha Flight crossover tomorrow? Because I saw that sneak peek. Anyway, so far the Sapphics are winning in this book, and we have a love triangle with the boys right now. So hopefully that gets addressed next issue tomorrow. So in about 3 hours from now, for me personally, because I live on the West Coast and everyone else lives on the East Coast. So we're gonna have to wait till next week for you guys to figure out what's up with the boys. You know, what's up with this love triangle. So Jake, how did you like the issue? Austin, you can chime in as well.
It sounds like fun. Like I said, I don't think it's a book that I would personally go on my way to read, but it does sound like it's interesting. It sounds like it likes developing the characters that we have now. I think more so than Strange Academy. It sounds like the book actually delves more into the. Oh, by the way, when I said Strange Academy, I mean like where I read. I don't know if it got better, but it sounds like it delves more into the school life a bit better as well. As well as the kids' growth into the roles.
Because only one of these characters is actually new, and it's Justin. But he got a whole mini series explaining how he got his powers and his family stuff, you know. But like, yeah, everyone is. I like how they're focusing on the actual students.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. From what you told me, I don't think I really have any inherent problems with it so far. But it's just not a book that I don't think I would be interested in reading. But that doesn't mean it's not a book that's perfectly fine as it is.
I think it's like a slice of life more than anything. Like a slice of life that in a superhero world that sometimes you just want. You know, sometimes you don't want heavy action events with like crazy aliens or anything. Like, yeah, we do get like fights in here and stuff, but not nearly as much as like, oh, what's up with the relationship between like Sheila and Brielle, or like the love triangle between Aaron, Kari, and Justin, you know?
Which I think that stuff is fine because, like you said, like we have I mean, like every day the Marvel universe is blowing up. There's no harm in just having a book where it's just like, you know, showtime's getting to know people.
Yeah, and I like how we do get cameos from like more established heroes, like the Colossus Wolverine cameo from like a couple issues ago, and how we're getting Alpha Flight tomorrow. I have a hope that Justin is gonna have like a heart-to-heart with North Star, like how Sheila had a kind of heart-to-heart kind of with Janet in this issue, where Sheila asked Janet to give her like a cute outfit for like a first date so that she can get the confidence to go ask Brielle, you know? I think Justin needs that scene personally because, you know, everyone else kind of had their low-key heart-to-hearts in other books, you know? Like Aaron did in his miniseries, you know, that he had and everyone else did for the most part. I don't know about Normie because I don't know much about him. But, like, I can assume that he's either gonna get it or he has had it in the past.
Yeah.
So, Alpha Flight cameo tomorrow, guys.
He got Spider-Man. He don't need these scrubs.
Woo! Alpha Flight cameo tomorrow. Thank you. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Unless Jake or Austin, you want to give some any final notes.
Let's get so far. I already said my piece on it. So far, like I said, it's just not a book that I will read. But based on what I read, if you are into slice of life superhero stories, this sounds
or
like
young superheroes as well.
Young slice of life superhero stories. Sounds like a book that you'd read, you pick up. So yeah.
Yeah, Cryptid, we can move on now. We're done.
All right.
Academy for the day.
Cool.
Now
hopefully this is the right image.
It's the perfect image. Okay. So a little bit of context for this. So this was actually my first Bionicle movie as a kid. And while I liked a lot of it, I think that it is the weakest of the three that I saw as a kid.
Wow.
Honestly.
I do remember seeing this movie, but it's been so long since I watched it.
Yeah.
Didn't we watch this movie in a movie night?
Oh,
no,
we
didn't.
Bionicle movie during movie night. I remember that.
We watched the Bionicle movie, but it wasn't this one. I guarantee you that.
It was 3. That's the one we watched. But yeah, so like this is like I remember watching all 3 of them. I don't know how my parents got a hold of them, or whatever. But
don't worry about it. It's called magic.
Right, but I remember watching all 3 of them and being like this. Out of the 3 of them, I was like, this is the one I want to rewatch the least. But now that I've read the books, does this movie hold up? Does this movie improve? Well, I guess I should start off by saying, no, not really. I think actually, I think I have a little bit more problems with it now, having read the books leading into this. But this is again, this Bionicle Mask of Light. This is the movie that ends the Matanui section of the Bionicle story. This tells the story of Takua the Chronicler and his best friend Jaller, who in the movie they call Jala, because I don't think they read the book. The people who wrote the movie, I don't think they read the book. As they go on a quest to search for the 7th Toa and give him the Mask of Light. With this mask, they will finally awaken Matanui from his coma that his brother put him in, and peace evermore, all that shit. I think there's a couple of things that I think the so right at the bat, one of the changes is that first off, Takua is the main character. In the first book, that is kind of the case. That Takua is the main character, but the difference is Takua is like you. Takua in the first book is written as if you were Takua. Like he is the stand-in for you, the audience member. I mean that in the most literal sense. So you don't really get to know Takua as a character. He's just asking questions that you, the viewer, would about this world you've never been to, essentially.
He's Bella from Twilight.
Yeah. And so, in the second book, Takua wasn't really even a character at all. He was an article writer. So, as stuff was happening in the book, it would cut to articles he was writing about the events, and hey, on the war front, while the Toa are fighting the Borak Swarm, here's what the Matoran are doing to fight back. The story has never really been about Takua. It's been about his experiences in this world. So it is an interesting choice having Takua be the main character of this movie, and telling his story for a change. And I did like that idea. His relationship with Jala, Captain of the Guard, my favorite Matoran, it's really genuine. Well, in the books, they never really spent that much time together. You do get the idea that in between stories, they've had a lot of adventures together, and they are good friends. I think their chemistry is really felt. Another thing I really like about this movie is the voice acting is so goddamn good. Reading the books to the movie only established that more for me. I can only like the voices for Tahu. The voice for Tahu, for instance, is perfect for what he would sound like in the book. And I can't confirm or deny what. Say it again.
I disagree. As a person who's seen this movie earlier today, I want you to know there's a lot of little people in this movie, not voiced acted by little people. I'm offended by that.
Whoa.
He's talking about the Matoran, who are the little people he's referring to.
Damn.
But the Matoran are supposed to be like the kids, and the Toa are the adults, and the Turok are the old people. But all the voice acting in this movie, I think, is like perfect, spot on. I don't think there's like one I really didn't like. Maybe Anua, but I wouldn't really change too much about it. But in terms of the action sequences, kind of a letdown. So because of the fact that this is not about the Toa Nuva, they.
By the way, Jake, I still have those pictures you wanted.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch them in a minute. You can switch to pick one actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we can bring up the art style as well. So this is what the characters look like in the story, which, as you can note, is different from how the toys looked in the images that were shown earlier. So in the movies, what they wanted to focus on was more of the biological, mechanical part of the Toa, emphasis on the biological part. So like if you look closely, you can see that Tahu has like kind of muscle tissue. On his like face and on his like and in between his armor parts, and so do all the Matoran too. They have like I remember there was like Gali, who's like the water, who's like a god Matoran. You could see like muscle padding underneath her armor, which now that I've noticed it, is kind of weird to me. But I guess it does fall in line with what the Bionicle are. It does create some issues, like when you see the Makuta for the first time, which I don't have a picture of. I just didn't feel like getting it. They changed him so drastically from what his toy was, in the name of making him look more human. I think what makes his toy design cool is kind of lost in the movie. So I didn't really like that. And like I was alluding to before, I didn't really like how the Toa Nuva were treated in this movie. As a kid, I didn't really think much of the Toa Nuva. I thought they were just there. But having read the books, I think I like the way they're portrayed even less. They've gone through 2 adventures already where they're already proven that they need to work together to solve things. But Tahu, who already admitted teamwork is important, all of a sudden he doesn't want to work with a team anymore, which is kind of annoying. And for some reason, he has a rivalry with Gali, which was never the case. They might have disagreed, but the real rivalry that Toa and Tahu had was with Kopaka, the Toa of Ice, who was Tahu's arch rival. But in the movie, they never even talked, which is why I never even knew they had a rivalry until I read the books. And so, like, you never even get to see that play out, which I think was a fun aspect of the books as well. And again, in terms of their power levels, a letdown is that we never got to see the Toa Nuva really shine with their powers. They get to use them, but it's not as cool as what they're hyped up to be in the books. When the Toa Nuva first get their powers and they show them off to each other, it's portrayed as like very hype, like they've ascended. But because they lose their powers very early on in the second book, you never really get to see them like actually like, you know, like get to really like flex them. And that's the same case here. You never really get to see the Toa Nuva flex their new upgraded powers, which is kind of a shame. Cryptid, you can cut to the last picture. Picture, what was it? Picture 5.
Let's see.
This one right here. Well, that's for later, but I can cut to this too. Later, we also get the reveal of Takanuva, who's the character on screen here. This is when we later find out that Takua is actually supposed to be the 7th Toa. If you watch the movie, it's pretty telegraphed. It's pretty obvious it's supposed to be him. This is his design in the movie. I also posted an image of him as the toy. Do you see it, Cryptid?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Yeah, so this is,
there we go.
Yeah, that's the toy version of Takanova. Honestly, I think I like the toy a little bit better. I like that there's more silver on him. I don't know what you guys thought. You just saw him for a little bit, but
yeah, the break in the coloring aside from the gold looks pretty nice on him.
Yeah. Well, I like Takanova in this. I like the energy he portrays to the group. I do think he feels a little out of place on Team Toa Nuva because the rest of the Toa Nuva are actually honest to God brother and sister, but Takanova is just like a person who just joined the group late. So I don't really feel like he really belongs on the team, really. But there is a sequence at the end where he does have to fight Makuta by himself, which is I guess shows how powerful he is because in the first book it took all the Toa teaming up to fight Makuta. So him being able to take him on by himself is kind of impressive, I guess. I think the fight with Makuta though ends on a very confusing note. To this day, I'm confused by some of the dialogue in there. There's a moment where Makuta says something like to the effects of like, "I'm trying to, don't you understand? I'm trying to save my brother from pain and suffering." And I'm like, that's clearly not the case because you will straight up try to kill him later. So I don't know what you're talking about. So the dialogue there was a bit off. And I think later there's also a scene later where, for some reason, Takua combined with Makuta's powers can bring people back to life, which that should not be the case because all Takua has is the mask of light, and Makuta has the mask of shadow. So putting them together doesn't really, I don't get how that gives them the power of life. And there is a mask. Oh, go ahead.
So Jake, in this case, do walk into the light.
Yes.
Walk into the light, Jake. Walk into the light.
I think they're going for the yin yang life death thing.
Yeah, I think it's what. Yeah, I think so too. I guess maybe it's weird in hindsight because I've seen this in hindsight, so I know there's a mask that specifically does the thing that they make Takanuba do. So it just seems weird that he can do it. I just don't think that should be possible. But I do agree. I think it's just more like light and shadow together can like revive people, I guess.
Tell them how he crashed into the door and what happened.
It's hard to explain. But there's a scene where Takanuba is riding to Makuta's lair, and he's on a speeder, and he jumps off the speeder, so the speeder will crash into a door. He backflips off of it, all like cool, like, and then you find out that there was a Matoran inside the crashed speeder. And it's like, how did you survive that? You should have just died in there.
He tried to kill his friend.
Keel over and die.
He didn't know she was there. Anyway, Crippy, you can cut to the last picture you actually went to. The picture with all the villains. Yes. To go about the villains for the movie, I chose this one because I like this design better. The toy design. These are the Rakshi. They're the sons of the Makuta. He basically makes them as his hunters to go after the Mask of Light and its herald. In terms of design, especially the toy design, actually no, I would say the toy design is a lot better. I like the design of the Rakshi. I like their staffs and their powers are really cool. I like how where the Toa get their powers from their mask, the Rakshi get their powers from their staffs. All great. But as villains, they are a step down from the Boracal. Completely. The Boracal had the Toa like on the edge of their seat. By the time the Toa rally together to fight the Rakshi, it's pretty much like, man, this could have been done in an afternoon. In fact, there is a scene where Kopaka takes on 3 of them and beats all 3 of them by himself. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. They're just not as impressive as what the Boracal were. So it's kind of a step down from that. But like I said, I guess it does show the progress of the Toa Nuva in the end. So I guess that is fine. But yeah, like I said, Mask of Light. I should say another thing I love about this and all the Bionicle movies, except for Legend Reborn, which Bionicle fans hate that movie. I think it's okay. For the first 3 movies, I say the music is fantastic. They really know how to give a sense of atmosphere, to really make you feel present. And I do appreciate that everything is done in earnest. I feel like if this movie was done today, there'll be a lot of like, you know how like in Transformers 1, how they have Bumblebee there clearly to make the kids laugh. But in this movie, there's none of that. It's pretty earnest, straightforward. Like there's humorous moments, but it's not really trying to make you laugh. It's just trying to show the characters have life to them. And I appreciate how willing they were for a kids movie to play the story straight and just have you just get like enraptured in the world. I think that was very brave of them to do, and I think that was I think for me as a kid, it really got me into Bionicle. Um,
Hmm.
I think I would give this movie 6 out of 10 if I had to be, maybe a 5. It's not terrible. It's the one I rewatched the least, even as a kid. Uh, and as a conclusion to the Toa Nuva arc, I don't think it's great, but it is good at getting you into the Bionicle world. You do get to tour the place a lot. And as a kid, it did its job for me. So, and I do remember, I did say on one episode that another kid I was babysitting at the time, he watched the movie and he was really enjoying it. So, it does its job.
Well, that
I'm just disappointed with that. But
Hmm.
I will have to end it with this because it's going to lead to next week. We do find out at the end of this movie that there is another island in this, the island of Metro Nui. Furthermore, what we're going to find out is that's actually the island that all the Matoran on this island came from, but they all lost their memories due to some event that they don't, obviously remember.
don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. But the next book I'll be reviewing is Bionicle, the Metro Nui saga. We're going to Metro Nui, everyone. That's where I went to this week.
Yeah, that's where I sent him to go.
That's
I
where
gave him the boat so that he could go.
Yes, and we will be seeing Taraga Vakama, Tahu's mentor, and his team on their rise to greatness, and seeing how we got to the events of the Matanui saga. So,
Yay!
yeah, this is where I kind of started really loving Bionicle, so hopefully it'll live up in the books. So.
Cool. But alright then, I guess with that, we'll move on to the last topic of the night, audience. And we're talking about Deadpool issue number 6, the final issue of the first arc. So, what happens in this issue? Oh, a little thing called Legacy, if you want to put it that way. You see, now that Deadpool's back at his home base with Taskmaster, Princess, and Ellie, keep in mind, audience, Deadpool's battle with Death Grip caused him to lose his arm and his leg, and because of Death Grip's power now, Deadpool cannot heal. So this is a bit of a tough hurdle to go through. You ever have that coworker that ever meant an untimely injury? Now you're like, oh shoot, how are we gonna get our work done? So even Taskmaster's like, how are we gonna do this now that you're literally in a wheelchair? And Deadpool's like, well, I kind of always wanted to be the guy in the chair. Yeah, Deadpool.
You know what I
know
think
what
would be a
it's like.
funny character for Deadpool to fight?
Who?
Deadly Ernest.
Who?
So basically, he's a villain. He was in Alpha Flight. I know I have to mention Alpha Flight in every episode.
Yeah.
But like his ability is basically if he touches you, you die. But technically, there's more to it. Basically, your soul is like kind of out in the wild, and he has your soul. And unless like you can get the soul back into the body, you're gonna be dead. You're dead. I think it'll be funny if Deadly Ernest fought Deadpool, but right now he's dead, so don't worry about it.
You want Deadpool's soul you want somebody to have Deadpool's soul inside them?
No. But like, it's complicated than that. I think if you had an immortal character like for like.
Yeah, I mean, I do seem to catch that premise, so. But, yeah. So, anyway, Deadpool he's okay with being the man on a chair, and as for who's going to pick up his slack, well, it's time for his kid to take up the family business. That's right, Odd. She's in her teenage years. She's old enough to start developing her mutant powers, so I would say
she's 14.
14, yeah. 14.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So you're okay with her, not a 10-year-old. All right. We know where the bar is. So
I said okay. I didn't say if I agreed with it or not.
Gotcha. But anyway, he gives her a suit and this stuff, but of course he has some stipulations to this, First off, of course, Taskmaster's going to be tagging along with her. Yeah, yeah, Ellie, you're going to be taking orders from Task Daddy.
I mean, it could be
Mm,
worse, honestly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What a name to call! What a name to call Daddy. But and Taskmaster's like, hey, don't call me that. Hey, let's just go with it, Task Tony. Come on. And Ellie, she was excited to finally get her suit. Ah, damn, I should have brought up that picture, but god dang, I had like what over 10 pictures to load up today. So
Sorry.
yeah, no, it's all good, it's all good. But you guys saw the image a couple months ago what Ellie's suit's gonna look like. Deadpool's costume with some shurikens in her front chest, a hood, and a brown jacket. And that also has a Taskmaster symbol on it. And she's like, "Wait, what's with the symbol?" Taskmaster's like, "Well, I can't have you using those moves without advertising me, kid. If I
Jesus
don't,
Christ.
yeah. Hey, if anything, people will be thinking you learned your moves from Deadpool. So,
Well, that makes sense, though.
yeah. Taskmaster is a businessman, which at the end of the day. So,
Fair enough, I guess.
gotcha. And of course, the other stipulation with Deadpool is, yeah, I don't want my kid killing anybody. I don't want her putting anybody in the ground. So,
Unless she
and
accidentally kicks him in a hole or something. I don't know.
yeah, I guess. So, even those daggers that she was given, they're taser daggers. They were dull, and yeah, they're not sharp. They were dulled by Taskmaster himself. So, they're blunted. So yeah, and their first gig is to go up against this one ex KGB agent as their because they have like some secret file or whatever in a briefcase to get. Even Taskmaster's like, look, this isn't exactly going to get us out of bankruptcy. You know that, Wade, right? Taskmaster, look who you're talking to, man. I know better than anybody what good advertisement is. Think of it this way. She's not going to be able to kill anybody in that group, but if she kicks all their cans, they're going to live to tell the tale of her.
13-year-old girl.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right, Ellie's just kind of like excited. She gets to go on her first gig, and she's bored because the first thing they have to do is do a stakeout. It kind of like reminds me of that scene from Breaking Bad. Uh, what was that ex cop's name, Jake? Jake,
Hank?
if you're still
You
there.
talking about, you talking about Hank?
No, the other bald guy. You remember the one who was working with Gus?
Oh, shit, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah. When he went on his first stakeout with Jesse, right? Like Jesse was like, "Why are we waiting in the car?" Yeah, well, sorry, kid. I mean, that's like about 90% of the job right there. We're waiting. What, you think we're gonna go in there guns blazing every time?
Yes.
I know, right? But anyway, that's when they finally found their time to strike, and Ellie comes charging in with Princess. And uh,
Princess Slay.
yeah, Princess is the best thing to apparently come out of Alyssa Wong's playbook. Who knew?
I would have liked
So
to see more Valentine, but that's
I
just
know.
me personally.
I still think we're going to see Valentine in this book at some point.
You
Which
keep saying that. We're 6 issues in.
Gotcha. But anyway, long story short, like it's a pretty impressive fighting sequence, and you know what? Like Ellie is not being treated as, for lack of a better term, Mary Sue. She's struggling. Like this is her first gunfight. Yeah, she's wearing Kevlar in her costume, but still, like she needs to rely on Princess to help her and this and that, and they clearly are struggling against these bad guys. But at the end of the day, they were able to take them down. They were able to get the briefcase, and nobody was dead. Nobody was killed. So you have Deadpool, who's hold on a sec. Damn. Okay, you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Deadpool. Who's watching all this from his computer. Man on a chair and this and that. he's just kind of happy. He's like, yeah, we're going through. Okay, Ellie, you did such a good job. We're going to throw you a pizza party for you and Princess. When you get back. And you just see the look of joy on Ellie's face. This is just her way of spending time with her dad. Getting close to him. Good, good going. Deadpool's in his chair. He's like, oh my God, the bills are paid. My daughter's happy. My business partner is not shooting me in my sleep for payment.
What a good
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I got my life in order. I mean, who knows? Like, maybe losing my arm and my leg was the best thing that ever happened in my life,
It only
Wait, don't
cost me
say
an arm
that.
and a
It's gonna
leg.
get a whole bunch worse for you later.
It's funny you should bring that up, Witch.
Oh, shit, was that right?
Yeah, Deadpool's like, oh my God, I prayed for times like these. I learned something about prayer recently. Oh shit. And it's that true devotion comes from within, from the heart, the soul. If that's the case, Deadpool, then tell me, why would one need hands to pray? As Death Grip comes out of nowhere. I was like, oh shit. You guys remember like Deadpool just severed his hands in the last issue, so you figured like, okay, this guy's done. But no, apparently his kung fu magic, man, his magic cult death stuff now allows him to form constructs of his hands. So, oh shit, he pops up at the Deadpool's home base. There's literally nobody around in the building. It's just him and Wade. You're like, oh, you're mine, Wilson. You know. Deadpool tries putting up a fight, shoots at him. It's not working. I mean, like, Death Grip does a hand sign, and wham! Deadpool's other arm gets cut off. Deadpool's like, lucky for you, I studied how to fight with one foot. No, that's not working.
The blade. That's all
Yep.
I thought about when you said that. I
Yeah.
studied the blade.
Oh, you think you're so tough, Death Grip? Come up closer. I'll show you the fierce fist of the backwind. Wink, wink. Fist of the backwind, audience. What do you think he's implying there? Yep. But anyway, unfortunately, yeah, this is really it. Death Grip has him. He's he's ripping Deadpool's rib cage out and incinerating his intestines, burning what's left of his foot. Like, and you just hear the final moments in Deadpool's mind, and he's like, "Shit, I'm not healing. No, no, the thing I've been thinking of is finally here. I finally got what I wanted. A stable job, a family. I got my daughter back. No, no, this can't end this way." As he's lying there on the ground with a tear in his eyes and blood flowing through his face as he actually dies.
R.I.P.
Whoa. I was like, man, I thought I thought Marvel wanted to backtrack on the death of Deadpool, but yeah, it actually happened, audience. Deadpool dies. Huh. Well, go ahead, Jake.
Well, we'll see him again in a couple years, if not.
Yeah, we'll see him soon.
Yeah, it's funny you guys should bring that up because, like, keep in mind, like, we're still seeing Deadpool's presence felt in Marvel right now. I mean, he has that Venom War tie-in, so it's not like he's gone, you know. But yeah, is what it is. I mean, it gave some clickbaity articles to some other people to post up, I guess. Yeah. Again, I'm okay with Ellie getting more spotlight, but I just felt like that was a little bit of a bad timing situation where at the height of Deadpool's popularity, Marvel's like, let's kill Deadpool out, you know? And replace him with his daughter. Ew, didn't know how to feel about that. But I'm willing to see where this goes, you know? So Next issue, it looks like it's just going to be down to the trio, Taskmaster, Ellie, and Princess, to pick up the slack now and probably have to get revenge for Deadpool's sake, you know? So, yeah, I mean, it was a good issue. I enjoyed it. Good first arc. This and that. Beware the backwind, audience. You know? So, alright, guys. You guys have any final thoughts before we close out tonight?
No, but I do want to briefly talk to you guys after we're done recording.
Sure thing.
But you also
It's nothing bad, I promise.
Yeah.
But audience, please subscribe so we can start streaming from YouTube itself.
Yeah.
Also, audience, this should actually upload like later as a video, like later, right? Like the actual video.
We haven't tried that yet, but
okay.
we're still experimenting, audience. So
there's a whole new service. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But thank you guys for stopping by. Next week, we'll have our signature books. Dan, what you guys want to promote your next week's books?
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to promote their books. Okay.
I don't know what's coming out next week.
Avengers Academy and any other books I decide to talk about. Also, if you're going to the Uncanny Experience in Minneapolis this weekend, I will be there.
Yes.
You can probably guess who I'm going to be because I'm not that friggin'. I'm pretty basic when it comes to me. You should know me right now.
Also, we make no promises, but we may, and I say may, and I'm just putting this in everybody's mouths, but we may review Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns. Maybe. I just gotta throw that out there. We might. I don't say we won't.
And if you want me to talk about more Twisted Wonderland, you let me know. Follow me on my socials if you want me to talk about Twisted Wonderland.
Yes.
Because I just got my Halloween costume in. Yay!
No,
yeah.
No. But all right, then, audience. With that, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
See ya.
Guilty. Destiny.